for him. It's going to be the instant rumble. We've seen this be flexible.
Yeah, we've seen this go down the bot lane with Life in particular in a previous series. However, 369, I feel like he feels more than happy to pilot that towards the top side of the map. I would love to see a little bit more from Wombo Combo since JackeyLove has locked in that Leona down the bot lane. We did ask for Missing to be a little bit more active on the map. Leona is one of the most active supports. You've got so much CC in your kit that you can definitely utilize that to roam around the map and create absolute chaos. Now, Sheer will go with a more defensive pick towards the top of the map. And are we going to see an 80 carry towards the mid lane? Corki, Lucian, all up for grabs. Yagao has been leaning towards the Corki a little bit more than the Lucian, but we'll see what he will choose to go with here.
I do really like that Top Esports are already setting themselves up for some real team fight potential there. I am seeing a ton of pick-out potential by JDG already with the first three. So there's a very differing style we're getting from both these two teams. And honestly, very much like Ruler on a lot of the utility carries we've seen rise up in the meta here because he is one of the biggest brains to ever do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like Ruler's Jhin also looked incredible when he was playing in that BLG series, taking the hit onto Elk's Ezreal. It looked incredible, and you've got so much setup in that bot lane, the roots, the CC coming through from Leona. You're playing against a very, very mobile AD carry in the likes of Misfortune. So right now, I'm looking for things to actually not even maybe set up for Misfortune, but maybe defend her in this iteration. I'm looking for things like Brom that can also facilitate really well paired up with the Lucian. That passive procs super quickly with the combination of these two champions.
There's the Shyvana we've been seeing creep out of her cave, or dragon cave, I guess, recently. It is the Sejuani, though, banned towards Tian, so trying to take away some of that setup potential we were just talking about. Still think there's some big choices on the line, and I love that we're getting all this jungle focus in the second phase. Obviously, a lot riding on these two guys to make it work for their teams and want to take away some of their big comfort picks or some of the niche picks they're willing to take.
I feel like this is so clever by JDG as well. Meiko is most likely looking towards something like a Brom to try and defend against Leona. Try to sort of fend her off in lane. Works really well again with the Lucian, we said. So Top Esports are going to look for the engage through their jungle. There's two champions only that kind of do this through the jungle right now. That's Sejuani and Maokai. Maokai is going to be the only one if Tian wants to look for that sort of heavy engage through the jungle being that case. But Meiko, not going to go for the Brom at all. He's going to fight fire with fire.
And horns. Fire and horns. As might make the difference here. I actually really like the Meiko Alistar pick. Also going to let him get around the map, but just has so much potential to layer up with the equalizer and the bullet time and get multi-man wombo combos there. So Top Esports, again, they're keeping the trend. We said they had one very clear direction, and that direction is big team fights. And Corki is going to be locked in to provide a little bit of that sustained damage for JDG and that length damage from Yagao in the mid lane.
Now, I do wonder, I was about to say, Zara is still up for grabs if Tian wanted to go towards that, but it's going to be Kanavi taking away the Ivern coming through one more time. It is an extra body that you throw in the fight. It is some sort of engage to connect your root and have Alistar just run into that backline if the root connects to the right target. However, I feel like JDG have a fantastic composition in terms of controlling areas on the map. So much setup through that bot lane. Zara, incredible at peeling backwards and creating space for the carries to play through. I feel like Top Esports are going to have the work cut out for them because they're going to have to find avenues to get ahead in the early.
It's all relying on those early paths, the early leads that are given out, and how much pressure we get before the team fights. You have to remember going into this one, it's a 5-win streak, all 2 zeros for Top Esports so far, and they have had a dominant spree. They want to continue that here against a JDG team that is looking for redemption in a summer split where spring fell extremely short of their expectations. There was no international for some of these names that we've known in the LPL for so long. This game, it's the end of the season for Rumble Split at least. We'll be getting to playoffs here very soon, but it's so fitting that we have two of our legacy teams, two of our top teams, one of the most rivaled matchups in the history of the LPL, JDG versus Top Esports as our final series of this Rumble stage in the LPL. And the fireworks are about to fly. It's Tian versus Kanavi. It's all about the Rumble. That's just a home crowd diff.
The arena is packed. And who wouldn't want to watch this game live between those two titans of the LPL? You did mention the jungle matchup is absolutely legendary, especially when Tian is feeling confident, bringing out the Ivern one more time. Won the previous time. He brought that out, but also the legendary bot lane matchup between Ruler and JackeyLove, the double world champion bot lane. They have been spotted.
Yeah, it'll be a little bit dicey there. We're going to take a
Wait,
look
everyone's
at...
straight in.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be the name of the game here. It's about who gets priority.
Guys, let the minions come in first. Come on. Please.
It's a little bit difficult to let minions have any say in this one, all right? It is looking at this 2v2 to see who gains that bit of an advantage. That level 2 mark early, missing in Ruler, trying to pull JackeyLove and Meiko off the wave here. And all of this matters. That 4th shot being weighed right in front of JackeyLove and the bouncing grenade.
That does... Ruler... I'm not sure if it was a mispress right there. Ruler uses the barrier. Doesn't have that summoner spell, and missing took a huge chunk of his HP. I feel like a lot of the damage from Jhin is very underestimated, especially during the early levels. He does so much. 4 bullets is all he needs, and you've got the setup from Leona. You've got the extra damage from the passive as well from Leona, plus the ignite. If you do manage to chain in a bit of CC with the Leona plus the combo from Jhin, you can 100% to zero someone really quickly. JackeyLove, of course, sporting the cleanse. Those that bot side of the map will be able to stay safe for the time being. But yeah, I'm loving the Jhin right here because there is no real threat in terms of big tanks.
Oh,
JackeyLove!
JackeyLove, he's burning! Oh, one more tick. First blood goes to Missing.
Missing with the incredible link on the ignite. Waited for the cleanse to come through first, then pops the ignite onto JackeyLove. Great rotation of spells right there from the support of JDG. Taking down JackeyLove, massive wave that JackeyLove is going to be missing here as well as his summoners. Great stuff. Great start from JDG. We wanted proactivity. We got it. 3 minutes in, 1 kill already.
And now we have mid lane here. Kanavi has made it first. Both junglers running this way as they see Tian. He does not want to continue that trade. We are going to be looking at the Scuttle Crabs. I love that Tian is trying to hover and shadow Kanavi and maybe force his hand in the 2v2 here, trying to land it, but can't do it. And he'll actually move towards top as we get a replay of what happened bot lane.
Let's also just one more time. I feel like JackeyLove really disrespects Missing and Ruler. They're level 2. You don't even have that level 2 onto that Misfortune or the Alistar. Alistar is barely a champion, level 1 as well. So a little bit of an overextension. I would say classic JackeyLove moment, but usually it's a little bit more of a calculated JackeyLove moment. That was a little bit too early. But yeah, great chain on the CC and the ignite to make sure that after the cleanse, the ignite goes down for Missing to secure the kill.
I really like that they can get a lead down there as well in that 2v2 because that leads to a lot that you can do as the Jhin matchup there. You can also leave them alone, get Missing out on the map. Things can go well for you. They are going to be matched back there. As Dragon is going to be coming up, that pot lane priority will be super important. About 30 seconds out from that. Does he stop it? No, he doesn't.
Ooh,
as doesn't end up getting the stop. But Tian, meanwhile, his mid laner just TP'd back, is going to go a little bit preemptively onto Kanavi. Kanavi engaged on by Tian, and look at this. We said they were ruthless, and I see them just punching each other.
And 369 getting the better side of Sheer on the top side of the map. So, Ivern is a very underestimated champion. It is so obnoxious and annoying. Just being in the bush, throwing out the auto attacks, getting that shield is just so freaking annoying. And of course, the later on the game goes, the shields get bigger, they get more annoying. They also provide a lot of survivability, but then you get the extra body of Daisy in those fights as well. This can become very, very dangerous for JDG. However, for them right now, it's complete dominance towards that bottom of the map. It was created by Missing and Ruler winning that 2 versus 2 Meiko. That's not your jungle.
Gotta be a little careful, He's just a cow looking to graze, you know? It's going to be difficult.
For some grass.
Yeah, it's really difficult if you notice, though, that Ruler is level 5. JackeyLove is going to just now tick over to level 4. So there is a massive difference in the spot lane, but maybe they can make it up with a little bit of that combo here. You got a little bit of damage onto Ruler. Very immobile carry as Kanavi's coming around the corner. Tian is here, too. These junglers are just on top of each other. Now Tian, he has to burn his flash. He needs to be careful, though. They get the CC chain there onto Missing. It's the damage profile you're waiting for. JackeyLove, he's trying to get the shots in, but Creme is the one that comes in and makes the difference now. Does get the double, as now he wants to dash forward here onto Kanavi with the culling. He's going to get him. Oh, the flash comes out of Kanavi. Last second, JDG and Top Esports traded blow for blow, 1 for 1.
And it's Creme pushing in that mid lane, allowing him to roam for that rotation onto that skirmish down the bot side of the map. Now his back is going to get cancelled, which means Tian has to pretty much try to get towards that mid lane and cover for just a little bit, soak up some of that experience, grab some gold for himself. But a great roam from Creme, also managed to grab a kill for himself, putting himself up 400 gold in the lead. We'll grab the call for him as well. Top Esports are looking for that late game. Oh, Tian.
Oh, that's damage done. Tian's just a little tree, friend of the forest, no longer. Yagao gets the kill on him. Valkyrie's away as well. And JDG, they're finding out where Tian wants to be, and they'll take the grubs.
Okay, that is very uncharacteristic from Yagao. And I'm loving to see the aggression coming in from the mid laner of JDG, because I feel like I've criticized him a little bit too much. I feel like the whole play of Yagao buff, we need to see it a little bit earlier. Now here, Meiko is starting this play because she knows, I was about to say Knight is already on his way. It's not, it's Creme that's already on his way with the Lucian. And also Tian was in the river as well. So this was very quickly going to turn into a 3 versus 4 in favor of Top Esports. Great kiting abilities right here from Tian as well to get away from a lot of those Zyra plants. And once Creme is down there, Top Esports play a little bit more aggressive, grab the kill for themselves as well. Great stuff overall. Kanavi has to be forced to flash here too. Getting away with just about 1
we're
HP.
back
Tian.
into it. Stranglethorn has been used onto the combo of Daisy and Tian, but Tian's surrounded by enemies and he finds himself in a little bit of trouble.
Annoying.
Does get all out of by Sheer. Sheer just pulled him out. Does he get the kill in the end? He does. Tian will be taken out again. His legs cut from underneath him.
This champion is just so annoying. Tian was just playing between 3 members of JDG and they could not pin him down. Sheer did not want to play any more games, uses that ultimate, pins him under the tower, takes him away from anyone else. 369 could not assist his jungler right there. All in all, it's a pretty even game across the board. If you think about the fact that about 500,000 gold JDG is in the lead, but a lot of that is like down to the support, 300 gold onto Missing's Leona, 400 onto the Jin, which pretty much equalized through the rest of the map. This is a very, very even game so far, but I'm really glad to see that both of these teams are very, very willing to be extremely active towards that late game. And Creme shows us right there how pretty much that 1v1 goes between Lucian and Corki. When that Q comes out from Corki, you're more than happy to E through that with Lucian and play a little bit more aggressive, chain down those passive auto attacks through the abilities.
I think it's been so interesting to watch these jugglers. They don't care about taking objectives unless it makes perfect sense for the way that they're pathing. They're really just shadowing each other in a lot of ways, or at least Tian is. And so far, it hasn't really worked out for him, but that's why we haven't seen the big priority on the Dragon, even though we had strength in the 2v2 down there for both teams in different times. Tian is going to start this one up. There's an answer, though. It's going to turn into a 3v3, and JDG seem to have a lot more strength with this setup.
Meiko does have the ultimate. Will get caught in the tri-brush. Will lose half his health. However, for now, nothing's going to happen. It all comes down to Creme and Yagao and how they trade through that mid lane. Kanavi's going to try to walk up that tri-bush, but I was about to say, when you're playing, when you are playing that Ivern, Meiko.
The long distance combo, but Meiko pops the Unbreakable Will there. Is going to survive for a little bit longer. JackeyLove taking a little bit of damage. Missing, does get the Ignite burned onto him by Meiko. That also forced Tian to come back down towards the spot side. As Creme's going to take a bit of an interesting path and get poked on his way out. God, this just means JDG
Now-
get the dragon.
They do get the dragon. They get the push towards the bot side of the map. They force Meiko off the map. So they do end up getting the dragon for themselves. Tian is looking towards the mid lane, missing. He's missing a lot of HP. Daisy?
Trying to keep him away from the dragon pit here as Kanavi had already started that one up. They are just going to try to get Yagao. Daisy stepping up. Try to get the CC chain there. Dragon will be secured by Kanavi. There's the knockup. Missing just dying to a rock. Finally ends up turning it around at Tian. Out by himself, can't really find a saving grace yet on the map, and that's just speaking to the strength of JDG playing together.
Very well played right there. Yagao also dips into the river to try and defend his support, clearing out that ward in the mid lane. And the funny part about Ivan and why he's so annoying is because he doesn't have to spend time clearing his camps. He has no jobs on the Rift but to be in your jungle, but to be a moving ward around the map by trying to gank. He's literally free to do whatever he wants. He marks his camps and then he's free. He has no job on the map until he comes back to claim them. So this is the power of the Ivan. Moonstone gonna be completed right here for Tian as well. He has been extremely annoying now with the Moonstone. Oh no, Meiko.
He does have a little bit of tankiness as a cow. Shear's just chasing him down though. 369 is gonna be heated up. Kanavi and missing coming over. Solar Flare is gonna be popped. 369 does make his way out. Oh my God, the man's got moves.
JDG bringing the proactivity onto top esports. They brought the better the better selves here as Ruler gets caught in the slow.
It's an immobile ADC, but he does have barrier. He makes it out alive there. They're moving over to the grubs, though. 4 have been secured by JDG. That's really all they wanted. They just want the might spawn. Anything else was a little bit extra on top, as top esports will take a couple grubs themselves.
Yeah, as you can see, 369 has already reset. He's going to be TPing towards the bolts of the map, where Yagao is putting a lot of pressure. And someone's going to have to go top side and catch that one.
Oh my goodness. JackeyLove. He's going to burn the cleanse. Missing is a little bit deep, but they've gotten the TP in from Yagao. Meiko might just have to sacrifice his life here. Open up. It's Ruler. Going to miss a couple of shots as JackeyLove struts his way out. Meanwhile, Sheer on the other side was taking a fight into Creme and Tian. But it's JDG. They've literally just been roaming around the map together, and it's so dominant.
Incredibly quick decision making on the map. The second they see 369 TP to the bot side of the map to reply to the pressure from Yagao. Yagao pulls the trigger and TPs to the top fight, making it a favorable fight for JDG. Grabbing himself yet another kill onto this Corki. Great stuff, honestly, from JDG. And I want to take my hat off to Yagao as well, because I have been one of his biggest critics in terms of his proactivity in the early game. Right here, JackeyLove walks a little bit too far forward. Meiko tries to peel for his AD carry. Will end up going down in his place as well. But look at that. The second they see 369 TP bot, Yagao instantly TPs for that fight on the top side of the map. They're gonna grab the Void Grab buff, and they're also gonna grab a couple of kills. JackeyLove?
Ruler's got a big spike here with the static shivs. Steel caps completed over JackeyLove. Be very difficult. Even with all these kills, though, top esports, they maintain a little tiny gold lead, and that becomes because of 369's advantage in the solo lane. See if that gets evened up in any regard, and see if they can find a way to use some of these solo lane advantages that they've gotten for themselves in 369 and Creme, respectively.
The only turnaround from that play was the fact that since 369 DTP towards the bots of the map, he was also able to grab 2 turret platings for himself. Very well spotted. 1,000 gold up onto this rumble, and you do have the chance to carry this game forward for you. Now, of course, the setup is not as clear-cut as other ones when you have the Leonas and the Rels to engage sort of the fights for you and have those big, beefy CC moments. You do have an Alistar, so it's going to be down to Meiko to try and find the openings for that rumble to put down all that damage. Now, Top Esports is still looking, but Missing and Kanavi have been pairing up for the majority of these games, trying to find for opportunities. The highlight from TP.
JackeyLove can't get caught again. That's going to be his flash. He has no other way out. They're going to go on to Ruler, though. Ruler flashes for the kill, gets it. Now you got to watch out the all-out coming from Sheer. He needs to get to the rest of the team. He is surrounded by red, and that gray screen comes up way too quickly. Meiko ends up turning it around onto him and JDG. They've been flushed out, Top Esports. Their composition coming alive. And 369 rolling all 9.
Top Esports with a W key forward, seed champion, kill champion. JackeyLove gets caught on the unforgiven ramp of AD carry deaths right there. There should be a sign at some point. Please, AD carries, do not walk on this ramp. You will die. This is where JDG managed to catch him, but Ruler gets caught on the backside as well and has to flash forward, which means he trades his life. Great flash by Missing right there. He's had JackeyLove's number off the get-go on this lane, and Ruler flashes forward for the kill, knowing he's dead to rights since Creme was flanking through the other side. However, Top Esports right here have made JDG split apart into 3 different places, which means that they just bundled up. As for WQ forward, as mentioned earlier, Seed Champion, Engage Champion, Kill Champion, Top Esports are definitely back in the game.
Yeah, if they can find that singular target to pump all their damage into, if they can find that big wombo combo, they have other avenues of damage forward. JDG, they do have a lot of AoE, a lot of CC in that regard, but they have to be playing together, so when they get split up, it's that much more difficult. Dragon does end up going over to Top Esports, so we will have a Cloud Soul on the Rift, but Dragons are tied up 1-1. We've had extreme contests over the top side of the map. Rift Herald in the pocket of Tian still, though, to try to get some of this standing gold and figure out which team's going to take first turret here as Creme's making his own work bot.
And again, the later this game goes, the more difficult it will become to JDG to face Top Esports in these team fights. Tian on this Iron will become the most annoying champion they'll ever have to play against. As Yagao is 2 levels down to 369. He hasn't spotted him.
Use those corky ears. Use those corky ears. There's something there.
He's a little sassy.
No,
he knows.
There's something there. Okay, he's gonna use it. Oh,
very
goodness.
safe.
Oh no, Creme, you don't have dog ears to hear this coming. They're gonna TP in. Oh my goodness. Oh no,
everyone.
This is a 4-man dive on Creme. He's gonna get all out of my sheer. He's trying his darndest, but he's putting the dirt either way. JDG make a team play on bot side. Top Esports make their own team play on mid and top.
JDG are trying to be proactive by taking the shutdown off of Creme, but they lose very crucially mid lane tier 1.
Oh my goodness.
And mid lane tier 2. That is a disastrous play from JDG trying to cash in on that bounty on Creme's head. They lose 3 towers in about 10 seconds.
And honestly, this has been, if you've missed some of the Top Esports games, like, they literally win a fight and then they win games. Like, you'll see a ton of the gold grass for Top Esports over the period of this Rumble stage get to like 25 minutes. It's like a steady lead or a steady disadvantage. All of a sudden it shoots to the roof and the game is over. I think this Top Esports team is just so good at recognizing when they have an advantage, when they can try to push for end a lot of these times and use some of those strengths together. And this composition represents that.
Absolutely, and I'm not going to lie to you, it sounds a little bit like BLG as well, so I cannot wait to see that rematch later on in the season. However, for now, Top Esports have found themselves suddenly in a 2,000 gold lead, somehow. Through those 3 towers, somehow, by taking 3 towers in 10 seconds, have found themselves in a 2,000 gold lead right here, and very importantly, 2 items completed on 369. 1, 0, and 2, just about gets a bounty on his head as well. 2,000 gold up onto Shears Casante. And again, the later this game goes, the more dangerous it becomes for JDG. This Ivan becomes so annoying, so tanky, has so much healing, peeling, shields, everything. You'll see that Top Esports will just be moving forward in all of these fights. Any champion will be melting through. You've got Kraken Slayer, you've got 80 carries that can completely dispatch off of this Cassandra and tear through any armor that he will be building later on. And JDG are going to have to find an opening to try and gain a little bit of a lead back, at least equalize the score. Right here, losing your mid lane tier 1 and tier 2 becomes really difficult because you're losing a lot of that pressure in terms of vision control.
Oh, Missing. Can't get caught out like that. Kanavi was looking for an entrance on the other side. Solarflare going to go completely wide. Missing. Taken out from underneath the structure of JDG and Top Esports. Strike again.
Extra man on the map. Top lane is going to be the next one to fall. Top Esports are looking at this top lane tier 2 tower. They're going to have JackeyLove pushing in mid as well. However, teleports are being pulled from JDG simply just to defend that top lane tier 2.
Yeah. I mean, you have to stop the bleeding. You have to stop this Top Esports from just running over the map. JDG, who were so confident in a lot of their team plays, are starting not to find those as often together. And we're going to take a look back at JDG's Missing getting caught out.
Missing was fighting Daisy. This is not a fight you want to be taking right there. Getting the knock up and the slow through the glacial was what got Meiko to catch up pretty much. Again, this is what we're talking about, how annoying Ivern is in these fights, because you can't pull out Daisy. It does proc the Glacial as well. Then you get slowed, and then the engage from Meiko becomes that much more easy, especially when it's through a choke point and missing. Land that first hand right there. Now, of course, you cannot let a composition like this with the Baron for too long. You've got Misfortune and you've got Lucian, and when you see both of them in Fog of War, you gotta start getting a little bit wary if you're JDG. However, first and foremost, you need to start establishing some vision in your own jungle, which is what they've been trying to do on the top side of Kanavi's jungle.
I love it, because we're getting past the 20-minute mark. We're getting to a point where these team fights are going to be so incredibly decisive. I really am looking at JackeyLove to find a big bullet time. That's going to make one of the biggest differences. Rulers' differences are going to be cleaning up a lot of the fights, setting up for the side of JDG and picking people off. But top esports, they have the strength right now. They're all together. They'll take this Dragon and go 2-1 in Dragon score at least.
JDG are going to use that time, knowing that top esports are all grouped up towards that bot side to try and establish some vision control. They really desperately need that. Potentially maybe even a flank TP for when Sheer's TP is up and available. As top esports, I feel like if they do get another pick on the map from JDG, they will very easily be turning around and trying to threaten that Baron. Try to close out the series as fast as possible. As Tian right here, shadowing Creme. Trying to make sure the buff with the
he got it
with the bush as well.
Yagao got the side lane turret. He did it. The little corgi that could. Tian hovering Creme though makes this so difficult to navigate for Sheer. Trying to get as much damage as you can on this tier 2, because right now top esports are in a very advantageous position. And JDG are the ones that are needing to kind of find an advantage, because we're already getting to 2 items. I think there is a little bit of strength to be had once you get that big transformation for Yagao into the Miramana, but it is about using some of those advantages. We haven't seen it necessarily come together in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, I feel like I have not necessarily seen JDG fight as all 5. They have been trying to get picks around the map, but it's top esports that comes out on top, especially when JDG pretty much splits apart in all those fights. You need that Zara ult to pretty much be used in a choke point when top esports are trying to advance onto you, and use that as a peeling tool to allow for Yagao Ruler to put down their damage, as well as Kanavi. Now, blocked.
The shield was too big. That is also something to think about, as the utility is going to be something to think about, but Ruler's damage potential comparatively to JackeyLove's and Creme's is not going to be there. So you got to find a way to be more impactful, and that's where you expect this cerebral gunslinger to have the advantage there. But it also has been a bit of a story of how Creme has had a massive impact, and we have seen it be a primary pull of the Lucian, but a lot of growth from it. He's no longer just the Akali one trick in mid lane all those years ago.
It's great to see actually his development, because he came into this team known as the Silas Akali, you know, aggro assassin ruler, as he's running away.
If he didn't have a trap
and
there,
then
he's dead, by the way.
he had to develop into a mage player. The Karmas, the Hways, the Azirs, all those control mages that just rose up into this mid lane. He did really, really well for himself, but this particular meta, with all the AD carries in the mid lane, suits him so well. His aggression speaks for himself, and top esports aggression as well. As I've started the Baron, JDG have absolutely no vision in this pit.
JackeyLove needs to find a good position, as the bullet time in this choke point could be massive. Ruler trying to push out. There's the TP, and top esports just want the fight. They're going in already. Stranglethorn going to separate a bit. Sheer going in on the back. Big equalizer to separate Yagao and Sheer from the rest of the team here outside the Baron pit. Meiko going low. Sheer dashes his way, but 369 chases him down. And now top esports, they want to continue, but there's the curtain call, and it might be closing time for top esports. One more fourth shot. JackeyLove trying to dodge away, and it's going to be blocked by Creme. The slowdown is not enough for JDG to pass him up, and that will be a response from JDG.
It is so scary to block the 4th shot right there, knowing that there's an engage.
Bullet time was waiting in the pocket of JackeyLove, and he gets one. There's a trade back to Ruler. The gunslingers going toe-to-toe. Now Ruler stepping up. He wants it onto Creme. Doesn't get the deadly flourish in the end. Can't continue following up. It is tension-filled in the mid lane.
And JDG are willing to chase Top Esports for those kills. Ruler 3, 1, and 2.
Oh.
600 gold up. He's looking for more.
He can't go through that one, though. He's got to be really careful to make it rain. Does slow you down. You are in a mobile ADC. Does still have flash and berry available there, but just try to put the hurt there in the end. And this is a fight that turns it a bit around for JDG.
Yeah, sending Daisy towards missing and the knockup right there. It was pretty much the two supports in the middle of it all, but then Sheer oversteps, gets burned down. The equalizer was also beautiful from 369 to pretty much split up the fight. The rest of the JDG members could not advance up to try and put the damage down onto Meiko, but then back and forth happened. Missing went in, Meiko went in. They ended up trading lives as well. JDG and Top Esports are willing to literally throw their bodies on the line to try and take advantage in these games. Again, the later the game goes, the stronger the Ivern team becomes. The buffs just become so obnoxious to deal with, and there's so much power, raw power on the side of Top Esports, and the buffs are going to make even stronger when the staff comes through of Law and Water, when the Ardent Sensor comes through. Things like Lucian, the Rumble are just going to take off.
And that's why you have to keep the tempo up. That's why Ruler needs to continue using this strength. He's already on 3 items, obviously cheaper items, but he is going to need to keep going off the back of JDG's engages as well, because, again, Top Esports are scaling into infinity here, it feels like. It's going to be difficult to deal with. Dragon is up, setup already there since Top Esports have pushed out mid lane. JDG are surrounding, though, ready to fight.
Yeah, JDG do not have a very easy way in. Daisy is blocking the way. That is a cooldown that is quite fairly short for Ivern, but that is one that is absolutely gone for now. And JDG have slowly but surely been gaining control of that river. Let's see who takes control of that mid lane wave, because it has been of priority whenever you want to play for those dragon fights.
At this point, we're looking at Yagao, Ruler for JDG. We're looking at Creme, JackeyLove for Top Esports. Everything revolves around these carries, and we're getting to the precipice where this could just blow open at any moment. The plants are already set up. Top Esports don't care, though. They're trying to go in. Big solar flare back. Meiko's going down. Big bullet time to separate JDG. They can't really get back into the fight, but they waited. They patiently had the time to get the setup. Meiko goes in. Creme misses a lot of the calling, but they get a double kill for him anyways. And now JDG, they're missing bodies. Kanavi's gonna go golden. The damage is still there. Ruler's opening up. 1, 2, gonna go through. The 4th shot's not enough there. They do get the kill, though, onto Tian. And JDG, they're showing they're not gonna back down from the fight. And Ruler, it's 3,000 days since his debut, but it's just another day in the office.
Ruler, Yagao, and Kanavi are the only 3 members you need remaining alive on the roster of JDG. The 3 main carries for this team. Absolutely incredible control in these fights. They did force Top Esports' hand. Top Esports were not in a position to actually fight these. You'll see that JackeyLove actually clicks on the root from Tian to try and get closer. He gets over the wall and then he has to back off. He's absolutely in no position to put the DPS down, neither him nor Tian. And this is the reason why you want to play Ivern. You want to have buffs onto your carries. However, Tian was not involved for the majority of this fight. Creme pushes too far forward, gets hit by the Jhin. And yes, here Daisy's back, but Kanavi's baiting everyone forward with a great stopwatch. And then, of course, you've got the curtain call right here. Yagao finishing off Tian as well. And again, it was so difficult. Once Top Esports do not get the initial wombo combo to kill someone, it is so difficult for them to keep chasing, whilst JDG can play with all the range and setup that Jhin and Zyra provide you.
But that's also where JDG were playing with a little bit of a stronger hand in that one. We have now reached the precipice of 3 items for Top Esports' carries. Lord Doms, the IE just got completed by JackeyLove, and as well as being able to find out the strengths here with a ton of that combo coming through is the next steps here. You did just get the Bloodthirster for Yagao, so a little bit more sustainability there. But man, these fights are so tooth and nail. And Tian is still going to have a lot of say as time goes on here.
3rd item completed by Tian right here. Gonna give a little bit more survivability to any of his carries. Having the Michaels in the bag And the Serpent's Fang coming out from Ruler as well. It does delay a little bit the spike because it's more of a facilitating AD item. You primarily build this, of course, for the passive, breaking the shields. However, it is very needed right there because the Ivory shields are so obnoxious to deal with. And someone had to take that item. However, for Ruler, it's pretty fine. He's already 1,000 gold up, and Top Esports are trying to find their way into this river. You do have Daisy. If you want to send her forward, Tian does have that cooldown, which he has primarily been using to try and take control of a lot of the areas on the map. So none of the Top Esports members has to face check, but primarily it has been that mid lane wave that you have to push in, try to take control of that, and then deep into the river to try and take some deep vision. Daisy's going to be popped out for a little bit more vision control.
I love the Top Esports are just so willing to threaten the Baron over here. They have the strength now with those item spikes. Look how quickly it burns. JDG's hand is going to be forced here as Top Esports looks like they want to take an engage. Meiko can't get it. He is going to go in the end, but JackeyLove's in trouble. He hasn't been able to hit the combo, but it's Top Esports. They've separated Sheer from the team. Missing's going down too. All bat in the hatch is Top Esports. They got to hold it down. JackeyLove, he's getting sniped out. 369, you got to be the body blocker. Top Esports, they take out a couple of JDG, but they are still hunting Ruler. He wants to make the difference here, but there's no difference to be made. As Top Esports, they've stopped a lot of their backs. JDG are sticking around, but so are Top Esports. They do end up getting the TP coming back, and we're going round 2.
This JDG trio is so scary. Kanavi, Yagao, and Ruler have been the difference maker for JDG. Can they do it here again?
Ruler's just trying to put his body up there. He's just trying to be something here for the team. Kanavi around the corner. This is the moment if you can, but he has no flash. He can't get in. Ruler's not able to get anything either. And the Baron goes to Top Esports.
The longer the fights go, they do benefit Ivan. You've got so much healing and shielding. You can persevere through that damage. Again, this trio core of JDG has been creating absolute chaos. And you did see this time around, Top Esports absolutely respected that. Let's see how all of these started. JDG, they just engage on two fronts. Sheer is on the left side, Missing's on the right. They just don't bundle up to try and use their carries, be that frontline for their carries. I feel like Ruler, Kanavi, and Yagao were just left to dry over in the backline. They didn't know which side to engage at which time. And again, a double flank is not necessarily a flank. Top Esports isolated the two targets that were too far forward, which was Missing and Sheer, took them out, and then you had just 3 squishies from JDG, even though very, very scary. Top Esports respected that. They reset, TP'd back in, and came in with full HP bars.
The thing is, you can't rest on your laurels either. You got 30 seconds for another dragon. Would be a soul point for either side. We also just saw Death Cap completed for 369. So that's going to be absolutely terrifying. He does not have TP, though, so he's going to be walking down this way. Top Esports going to use the remaining parts of their Baron buff to try to get this tier 2 in bot side. Maybe even catch out Missing on the way here. He's in a lot of trouble now. Bullet time gets stopped, though, but he still dies to Meiko.
404, support Missing for JDG. Steps too far forward, again Missing with a few missteps in this particular game. Getting punished, Meiko almost the same. Walking towards that top side of the map doesn't necessarily belong to him. Trying to establish some vision for 369. As you can see, he's trying to pressure that mid wave. So they're trying to get some vision all over that bulk quadrant of Kanavi's jungle. Creme a little bit too far forward.
Does end up burning his flash. Yeah, that's going to be a big cooldown used. They are trying to push this mid lane too, but ends up being a little bit lame duck style as Dragon is up. Equalizer used to push them off the wave. Unfortunately, Ruler can't really run away from that one as much. They do end up clearing the siege out, but this has all been to try to use the rest of the Baron buff so they can get the Dragon.
Yeah, I feel like that was a reset angle anyway from Top Esports. So put that Equalizer down, trying to put some pressure in there. Pushing the wave. Get Ruler back underneath his tower. You see Creme still pressuring towards that bot, and this will be soul point for Top Esports. We are reaching our 6th dragon in this series. 3,000 gold power play for Top Esports. Now they're finding themselves 5,000 gold in the lead. And even though we're going into that late game, you cannot necessarily tell that Jin is one of those hyper carries that you definitely want to have. In that, when you walk into the late game, the HP bars get a little bit more tankier, and Jin cannot necessarily deal with them that easily. Creme again putting pressure on a side lane, and Top Esports are looking for any kind of champion to walk forward.
Yeah, I think you have to take a look at how the damage profile comes down for JDG in a lot of ways. It's going to now be centered a lot on Yagao, on Kanavi as well, and try to get those layered in as best as possible. But Top Esports, they're not going to let you rest. They have momentum, and they're going to use it. Look at that. Slowed down, but it's going to be the CC chain onto JackeyLove. Though he does get the flash, it will mean Sheer's life is forfeit. Yagao has finally joined, but Daisy's walking tall and strong like the big rock she isn't falling, but it is the minion wave that will get a crash here onto the inhib turret, and they just blow that thing out of the water. That'll be an inhib in topside for Top Esports.
Only 3 members remaining right there because Missing was literally limping back to base. Again, the core trio, Ruler, Yagao, and Kanavi, not enough right there to step up. Top Esports are playing a composition where they see champion, they engage champion, especially right now with how tanky Meiko has gone, as well with the shields coming through the Tian and the healing from the champion as well. And watching this one more time, JackeyLove walks through another ramp, another very tight choke point, but the equalizer is beautiful right there. They have to pull back. Missing stays a little bit too far forward, takes the entire bullet time. JackeyLove, great preemptive flash. I don't think he dies there to Josh Sheer, but hey, he's learned. Better safe than sorry.
Absolutely. And when you have these 2 carries, when you're getting to these 4 item spikes as well, it's just so difficult to deal with. And this is the Top Esports we know and love. This is the Top Esports that's on a 5-win streak, all 2-0s, because once you give them a lead, they absolutely run it through your gut. Now, it is also a situation where JDG, they don't really have that damage profile to stop this. So anytime Top Esports want to find an engage, they have the options to. And I think you're going to have to play very reactive, and especially with Kanavi's Stranglethorns.
They absolutely have the chance to do that, though. They have a very great peeling composition, so Top Esports, unless they have a Baron, I find it really difficult to see how they actually engage underneath the tower. There's a bunch of way clear on the side of JDG. Daisy will not last longer either, so I feel like Top Esports are definitely looking for a pick or a Baron to try and siege into JDG's base.
Okay, a couple of abilities used. Meiko about half health, equalizer on the exit to the base. Meiko almost going down. There'll be a couple ultimates burned there in either side. JDG showing a little bit of life as JackeyLove. That's the tank, by the way. JackeyLove pretty strong at this point as well. And Tian still taking away JD's jungle. So it's harder and harder to find any resources, down almost 7,000 gold now.
Yeah, I don't know about a tank. He's 5 levels down to JackeyLove, so tank or not, he can definitely take his odds with that 1 versus 1. And Top Esports are pretty much set up for the next Dragon as well. They've got 10 seconds. They've already set down their vision towards the top side. They've got that inhibitor pressure towards the top as well. Somebody has to respond to that. Yagao's going to push that one out. JDG have to find their way into this river, potentially try to get a pick. Has been the case where Missing and Sheer have not necessarily been on the same page, but you need them to be there, that front line for their team.
It's already gone.
Already down.
And now they just overextended themselves as Stranglethorn. Going to be that peel back till we said, but look at the equalizer. It's like a dead carpet coming out for JDG as Tian gets half his health taken away. Daisy will be non-existent now. Top Esports make the Baron play and make it out with all 5.
And they do have the soul if they want to take it in about a minute. However, this will take away from their pushing ability in terms of trying to take the base. I feel like right now is the perfect time to reset and try to siege for Top Esports. They absolutely need this power if they want to push into JDG's base. It is very difficult to push otherwise. A lot of wave clear on JDG, a lot of peel ability if you want to try and dive them, because even though 8,000 gold in the lead, there is still many champions that do so much damage on the side of JDG. Primarily the trio that we've been mentioning all over again, Zyra, Corki, Jin, will be more than happy if you dive them underneath the tower.
And I just love that we're getting this matchup, this rivalry, this historic series between JDG and Top Esports, 2 long-known rivals, but it's also just delivering. The fact that we're getting such a good shade of both these teams, JDG having some strengths early, unable to turn it in, and Top Esports taking one fight and kind of running with it. Feels like maybe a little bit of the track record we've seen so far. JDG also, it's so funny, they were once known in recent history as one of the premier team fighting teams. And now we're seeing Top Esports maybe take that to them here in game 1 of this best of 3 as that Dragon Soul of the Cloud Soul will go to top.
They will commit indeed to taking the soul. They didn't use their entire Baron buff to push. However, now they do have the soul, the extra speed right there from the Cloud as well. Let's see if they can use that to good advantage. They need to pressure in that mid lane wave because JDG are going to be more than happy wave clearing one side of the map at a time. You'll see Yagao will take care of that mid lane wave as well.
Oh my god. The burst damage there. Meanwhile, we get the Solar Flare answered, missing burning. He gets a shield from Sheer. It's going to be enough to save him, but they have lost their bodies. They have lost their health bars, and the siege is an onslaught by Top Esports.
Sinking in both of those waves for Top Esports, pushing mid and top, and bot at the same time. JDG are going to have to find a last pick. They're going to have to find a fight here, or Top Esports are going to take game one.
Ruler missing in the mid. Sheer, Yagao, Kanavi trying to defend the bot side. They lose the inhib. The inhib in top will respawn now. Creme actually going to use the culling there. Ruler was looking to step up onto him. About to have that fourth shot in tow, but JDG, they don't necessarily have the best clearing tools. They need to be together for that. And Top Esports trying to take advantage of it. Look at this massive wave dealing on top side that JDG are going to have to send somebody to.
Yeah, this is going to be a triple inhib threat. JDG, they want to primarily defend that mid lane tower, but it's going down really fast.
Meiko going in. Kanavi going to go golden. Meiko trying to make his way out. Equalizer has gone through. He's so tanky, though. 369. He's harpooning them in the back. Top Esports, they take it in one fell swoop like we said they would, as they constantly keep the pressure on JDG. This game has seen no difference, and Top Esports will take a 1-0 lead in this best of three.
Dare I say, Top Esports are looking like the cleanest team in the LPL currently. That is an 11-0 win streak in terms of games that they've played in the LPL against teams like FPX, LGD, AL, NIP, big teams that we have over here in the LPL. They've only lost to the big ones, PLG and LNG, number 1 and number 2. And currently that makes sense, right? Because they're sitting number 3. They've only lost the 2 teams above them, but they look so darn clean. They're running on all freaking cylinders. And JDG put up a pretty good fight in this early game. But again, you give them a finger, man. They take an entire arm. You miss the team fights back to back, they'll take your entire game.
Oh my goodness, it was an incredible game 1 to the series, and I think it's absolutely what we deserved. It is something, though, somebody has to